Hello, everyone. We're back with Ken Dombrowski, Executive Life Coach and Master Hypnotist, and today we're back with another one of our series, Get Off the Couch. What do you got for us today?
Well, get off the couch. It's another one of these topics that can go on forever. There's never-ending talking points. I think we've talked previously about how a person can get stuck on the couch. There's a lot of ways for that. And then staying on the couch becomes a habit of feeling safe in that environment, because nothing as bad has ever happened to me sitting on this couch. Everything outside is scary. So I think I'd want to talk today a little bit about how can we start taking a little bit of steps on getting ourselves out of that situation without the need for a life coach or a therapy or anything like that. And these are some things that you can try. And I say try because nothing is guaranteed. I can't promise anything. But if somebody finds themselves stuck on the couch, there's usually going to be an element of fear attached to it. So if you have an element of fear, start trying to do small things each day that are slightly fearful, tiny fear. And as you overcome those little things, it starts to build a resilience in the mind about how fear doesn't have to be as bad as it is. So we're all supposed to have fear. Fear is a necessary mechanism in us, and it's supposed to protect us, prevent us from doing stupid shit. It's supposed to prevent us from doing things that are going to be against our survival, right? Mm-hmm. So it's very necessary, but when it becomes overwhelming and it just kind of consumes you, then you have a problem. So some small things, perhaps, if you are stuck in the couch, how about you just walk to the end of your driveway and back a couple of times? Most people might go and get the mail, but I've actually known people who have been so stuck in the house that their family, that goes to and from work and to and from school, well, they'll bring in the mail too, because this one person couldn't even bring themselves to leave the house. So go walk to the end of your driveway and back, go get your mail and come back. Say hi to a neighbor if you have someone you might be interested in just chatting with for a minute. Those tiny little steps help to overcome small fears, and then you can start overcoming a little bit more significant fears. So does that sound like something that you think is doable?
I personally do, but I've also never been the person that's stuck on the couch in the sense that we kind of talk about. So to me, it sounds doable. But
have you ever felt that way in your life, where you just felt just stuck and didn't want to do anything and reluctant to participate in your life?
I don't feel like ever to a crazy extent. Have I ever wanted to spend a weekend on the couch? Sure. But do I just sit on the couch and not participate in my life? I would say no. I have a very active social life. I like a clean house. I have reasons to get up and do things. So for me, those always have outweighed the need to just sit down and do nothing.
And, of course, that's a perfectly healthy mindset right there. Rest when you need to, recuperate when you need to, but there's also stuff that has to get done. So it makes perfect sense.
Right. That's how I try and do it.
It's healthy.
Yeah.
If you were to find yourself wanting to just do nothing all weekend, not clean the house, not take care of other stuff, would you feel better about yourself, or would you feel kind of crappy about yourself over that weekend?
I don't think I'd be very happy with myself. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think I would just be like, oh, all that time to myself, it's kind of just wasted at that point to me.
And that's the key element right there. It's wasted time. So that makes you you're a reasonably goal-oriented person, and that's a great thing to be. So even if a goal is just, as I was saying earlier, just to walk to the end of the driveway, get your mail, and walk back, so that's a goal you can accomplish, knock out, and you get a tiny little boost in your mind about, okay, a little endorphin, hey, I did that kind of thing, something accomplished. Because if you can make a checklist, for example, and you literally write it out on a piece of paper what you want to do today, and if one of them is walk to the end of the driveway and get my mail and come back, that's something you can now strike it out, and it's an accomplishment. So if you can also put, okay, do my dishes, do dishes, clean kitchen, right? Now you're actually accomplishing things.
I'm actually a massive fan of checklists. I do that all the time. I will have a checklist for my weekend or my day after work or whatever it is. And I will do things that aren't on the checklist, and I will write them on after I do them just to cross them out, because I feel like you need to kind of celebrate all the things that you're doing. It's very important to give yourself credit for everything you're doing, because I know so many people, they're like, I did nothing today. And one of them will be my roommate, and I'm like, no, you did a lot. I watched you do this, 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 and this. And they're like, oh, you're right. I didn't waste my whole day. So I feel like it's necessary to kind of give yourself the ability to celebrate the little things, because it's still something you did.
Mm-hmm. And that really is perfect right there. You're quantifying it. See, you're right. If you kind of just coast through your day, you think of, in the afternoon, like, well, I really don't really think I did anything today. But if you actually did document it and you show that you've stricken through them, that really is a huge feeling of accomplishment, even though they're all small things that needed to be done. Mm-hmm. And you get that from both your mother and your father. Both of us do that, me and your mom. Because I found, as you were saying that, I'm chuckling to myself, because many times, especially back when I was a general contractor, because I'm saying literally felt like there's about 1,000 things to do every day. And some of them were tiny, hundreds of tiny microcosms, and then there'd be the bigger picture stuff. And many times I would write on my list, and just so I could strike it out. Right. Because I did something that I wasn't expecting to do. Yeah. And then you look at 2 pages of stuff I did today, 3 pages of stuff I did today, and you feel like, wow, now I know why I'm tired. Now I know why I want to go home and and have dinner and just sit down on the couch. I earned it.
Right. Well, and even for the days that you do go a little slow, like we started talking about, I have like lists or things I do for those days, so I know I just didn't do nothing. Like do the dishes, finish laundry, things like that. Things that you can do intermittently while still kind of just resting for the day. But at least I know I did something that needed to get done. And also is like a very obvious difference for me visually, because then I'm like, okay, well, the kitchen looks a lot better now that the dishes are clean. So something that feels like a real change is something I do on those days, because then it's like, okay, I took my time, I watched TV, I did whatever, but I still did that.
And again, I can't say enough that that is all extremely healthy emotional behavior, because you have to get these things done. If you don't get them done, it will drain you. It'll make you feel kind of like garbage, like I didn't do anything today, or those dishes still aren't done, or this still isn't done, and you just feel bad about yourself. Best thing you can do is the hard thing, which is get up off your butt, go do it, and then sit back down again, and you'll feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing, is I try and do the big things or gather my momentum in the morning, because I know if we hit noon, we're done. It's over. That's the ability to get through that large spurt of energy. It's gone. Right. So I know that about myself. So I'm like, no. Like, we're going to start in the morning, because if we don't start in the morning, we're not starting.
And here again, that is a really salient point about how that all works. If you say, I'm going to take the morning and just take it easy and slow, just sip my coffee and watch some TV and just zone out, and then about noon I'll get up and do stuff, chances are you're already kind of in an emotional funk, because you haven't stimulated your mind, you haven't stimulated your blood flow, and so you kind of stay sedentary now. And that's a lot harder to break than if you just get out of bed and start doing a couple of things.
I also think it comes down to a certain level of self-awareness, because I know that about myself. I know some people do have the ability to get up and do things in the afternoon. I'm not one of them. I need to kind of start in the morning, but again, comes down to how I was raised as well. You guys were like, get up, let's clean. That's how we did things. It started in the morning. So to me, the day starts with the activities that need to be done and ends with the day, like activities that don't need to be done but you enjoy. So I think it's just a matter of understanding yourself and kind of also a little bit of the way that you grew up too.
Well, all really good stuff. So there you go. Just to help you get yourself off the couch, make a checklist, do little things and check them off. And then you'll start noticing, chances are, I'll say, you'll start noticing some progress in the way you feel.
All right. Thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.